seriously. Welcome. If you're truly serious about wrecking your life, then this is the guide for you. Please don't. Don't follow these rules. Don't listen to all I'm going to say. But let this be a guide to not ruin your life. Today we'll cover some highly effective ways how people nowadays make their everyday life as miserable as possible. Don't just take it from me. Some of these methods are backed by actual studies that show just how well they work to ruin happiness, destroy relationships, and damage health. So grab a notebook and get ready to learn how to not ruin your life seriously. First on our list, people who doesn't want to make anything of their lives break the law. It's one of the quickest ways to lose your freedom, stability, and rights, which makes all your own happy dreams collapse. Sure, some people might joke that prison is a free hotel, but in reality, it's one of the most effective ways to lose any autonomy over your own life. It's often shown that it makes people very frustrated throughout history. Besides, studies show that former prisoners often face stigma, difficulty finding jobs, and higher rates of mental illness, including depression and anxiety, even after their release. Not to mention, life in prison can lead to lasting trauma that many struggle to recover from. So, if losing control over your life sounds like a dream, then by all means head down this path. And it's very effective because 76% of prisoners reoffend within 5 years. Once you're on this road, it's hard to turn back to a normal life. 2. They hate everyone around them. This might sound obvious, but is devastatingly effective. People with a tough life hate everyone around them. And I mean everyone. Being consumed with suspicion and negativity toward others is a surefire way to push people away, ultimately leaving you isolated and miserable. How do they do this? 1. They are suspicious. They constantly assume the worst in people. If they're nice to you, they must have an ulterior motive, right? If they want to help you, they're probably out to get you. Research shows that people with low levels of trust in others report lower levels of well-being and higher levels of loneliness and anxiety. So if you're looking for isolation and resentment, this is a solid strategy. 2. They are dominant. Another great trick to ruin your life: belittle others whenever possible. Studies on social relationships reveal that people who attempt to dominate others through criticism and control face increased social rejection and, ironically, feelings of inadequacy. By belittling others, you'll ultimately drive them away, and the emptiness you feel will grow deeper. 3. They cause physical and mental harm. When you cause others pain, you're essentially poisoning your own happiness. Research published in the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology indicates that people who consistently harm or manipulate others report low self-esteem and higher instances of depression. Not only will you be hurting others, but you'll also be deeply hurting yourself. 4. They lie and spread rumors. Lying may seem fun at first, but it actually creates a web of mistrust and stress. People around lying people will start to see them as unreliable, and according to Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin, being untrustworthy often leads to isolation and self-doubt. 5. They stalk others. Stalking others only amplifies your own feelings of inadequacy and paranoia. You'll be constantly consumed with what others are doing, which can lead to increased anxiety and a warped sense of self-worth. Ultimately, making others miserable is a fast track to making yourself miserable too. The more negativity you spread, the more it will consume you. So if this sounds appealing, dive right in. Studies have shown this is a reliable route to long-term loneliness and unhappiness. 3. They live as unhealthy as possible. Step 3 is easy but incredibly effective. Destroy your health. Living unhealthily can seem fun at first. Junk food, alcohol, cigarettes every day. But the effects can be brutal. You'll feel increasingly sluggish, and in time, your physical and mental health will take a serious hit. Did you know that people who engage in unhealthy habits like smoking and excessive drinking are at a higher risk for chronic diseases, mental health issues, and early death? The CDC reports that alcohol and smoking are linked to depression, anxiety, and increased stress levels. So if you're aiming to shorten your life and experience plenty of pain along the way, this one's for you. 4. They live reckless and dangerous. Now, for the thrill seekers, we have a special tip. People who don't care about happiness are living as recklessly as possible. They ignore all warnings and consequences. Studies from health and safety organizations show that reckless behavior leads to higher rates of injury and chronic pain, creating a constant burden that can ruin quality of life. Not only does reckless behavior increase the likelihood of accidents, but it's also linked to higher rates of mental health issues. Research from the American Psychological Association found that people who engage in dangerous behavior often experience more anxiety and regret. 5. People who hate life say no to what they want and yes to what they don't. Here's an underrated but highly effective tactic to live unhappy. If you believe no one wants a tough life, this one is very weird, because this happens a lot. Even people who say that they want a happy life does this. What do? They say no to the things they love, and yes to the things they hate. It's practically guaranteed to drain you of joy. Constantly compromising your own happiness can lead to resentment and regret. Why would you do that? Studies reveal that people who consistently neglect their own desires have higher rates of burnout and lower life satisfaction. Psychologists call this self-sabotage. By repeatedly ignoring what makes you happy, you'll soon end up on a path full of things that exhaust or bore you. And the more you do it, the harder it is to find the courage to say yes to what you really want. 6. Sad people stay glued to their phone. Is this you? If you're really looking to isolate yourself and miss out on life, spend every waking moment on your phone? Sure. But studies consistently show that people who spend excessive time on screens report lower life satisfaction and higher rates of anxiety and depression. Every minute you spend online is a minute you could have spent enjoying real-life experiences, building relationships, or developing yourself. But if you want to ruin your life, scrolling endlessly is a great way to achieve it. So there you have it. A complete guide to ruining your life. But if this isn't the life you're aiming for, you might want to try the opposite of everything we covered today. Take care of yourself, behave good, take care of your loved ones, connect meaningfully with others, and make choices that make you happy. Most of all, think about what you're doing, because it's easy to ruin your life. But your life will be far more fulfilling if seek for the good side. Thanks for watching.